As you know, since the beginning of this investigation, we have dedicated significant resources to locating Nathan, Catherine, and Alvin. We remain hopeful that we'll find them alive. This investigation included a thorough forensic examination of the residence where the three family members were last seen. We now have preliminary results back from that examination, and we can now confirm that a violent crime occurred in that residence. Forensic experts continue to analyze evidence found at the scene in order to determine the exact nature and extent of the crime, as well as who the potential victims are. All efforts are being made to ensure we get those results as soon as possible. When we know more, we will obviously provide any updates we can without impacting the integrity of the investigation. The Amber Alert for this investigation remains in effect and continues to generate tips from members of the public. As we continue to investigate, we are also seeking public assistance in identifying a truck and driver who may have more information about the disappearance of the three family members. The truck was seen in the area the night of the disappearance, and investigators would like to speak to the person who was driving it. It is described as a late 80s or 90s Ford F-150, green in color, and appears to be kept in very good condition. Photos of the vehicle can be found on the City of Calgary newsroom. Yesterday, Thursday, July 3rd, 2014, investigators spoke with approximately 75 people at the Parkhill Stanley Park Community Center who attended the estate sale at the victim's residence on the weekend. Investigators believe that more than 200 people were at the sale and continue to ask anyone who may have attended to contact the Calgary Police Service at the non-emergency number or homicide-tips@calgarypolice.ca. Today, Friday, July 4th, 2014, investigators continue to follow up on leads provided by hundreds of tips received over the last few days. As soon as we have new information that we can share with you, we will let you know. However, at this time, we do not anticipate any further updates until next week. We thank you for your patience and assistance with this investigation. I will now take and answer any questions I can, but please be mindful that this is an ongoing investigation, and my primary role is to protect the integrity of the investigation.
Is this now a homicide investigation?
It's still a missing persons investigation. We're hopeful that we'll find these individuals, these family members, alive.
So based on the amount of, I'm assuming the forensic exam was blood, you believe that it's still possible these people are alive?
I can't go into details of what we found in the residence, and we're continuing to assess that information. I can tell you there was a violent incident in the residence. We're continuing to assess that information, but we're still hopeful we'll find these individuals alive.
And do you know yet who that violent incident was against, whether it was the
That's
child?
part of our assessment of the scene. We have sent evidence up to the forensic crime lab, and we're anxiously awaiting the results of those examinations.
How long does that usually take?
It can take anywhere up to several months, but we're expediting the analysis of these exhibits.
So what do you think for time?
It could be several days to a week.
Has the pickup truck any make on the license plate?
No, we don't. And that's why we're doing the public appeal. We have taken steps to try and identify the truck, and now we're asking the public for assistance in identifying the truck and the driver. The vehicle was seen in the area the night of the incident, driving in the area several times, and we believe that the person in that vehicle may have information that will assist us in our investigation.
So was that truck spotted well before this family disappeared?
It was spotted during the course of the evening and the course of when we believe the incident occurred.
So the driver of the truck wouldn't be considered a suspect?
Right now, we believe that person has information or may have information in relation to our investigation.
Is that fair to call that person a person of interest then?
The person is a person of interest only in the fact that he may have information related to our investigation we would like to speak with.
Sir, the marks that were on the house,
The marks that were on the side of the house, our forensic team did do an examination of those marks, and we're assessing the relevance to the investigation.
So if these people are alive, they would be in some medical distress given the violent incident?
Based on what we've seen at the scene, I would say so, yes.
Is not, and you may not be able to answer this, I'm just wondering, when you talk about forensic evidence, presumably blood, are we talking about blood of perhaps 3 different people or one victim?
That's what we have to determine, and we'll probably have a better idea once the exhibits that we've sent to the crime scene are analyzed.
So you said medical distress, but is it possible that somebody, given what you've examined, could have even survived what you've
Yeah,
witnessed?
we don't know. And again, we're hopeful that we'll find these family members alive.
I'm a little confused when you say medical distress. Was it massively?
Based on what we saw at the scene, we believe that there was a violent incident inside the residence.
Involving all 3 victims?
That we don't know. We've sent the exhibits away, and we'll have a better understanding of that once we get the results back from those exhibits. But based on the evidence, I would say that somebody would be in medical distress.
How widely distributed through the home is that forensic evidence? Are we talking multiple rooms?
I can't comment on the extent of the forensic evidence, just to protect the integrity of the investigation at this point.
You said that there won't be any updates for the rest of the weekend. Does that mean that you don't anticipate finding them anytime soon?
That does not mean that. What we will do is, if we do have something that we can share with you as an update, we would certainly make an availability, or make myself available to update you. But at this point, we don't have any additional information to share.
Do you believe there's only one person in the truck?
We don't know that. And from the CCTV video, we can't tell. So not only would we like to speak to the driver, but any other occupants that were in the vehicle.
And why was that interesting, just that a truck drove around a couple of times? What made it jump out?
We just believe that giving the area that the vehicle was in, and the fact that it was the night of the incident, and that it drove in the area several times, that there's a good possibility that the individual or individuals in that vehicle may have information in regards to this incident.
When we say several times, do you mean like several times over a few minutes or at various?
Over the course of the night.
Sorry, can you talk to just how uncommon or bizarre this particular case is turning out to be? I mean, I don't remember.
It's a very complex investigation. We still have a lot of work to do, and we have a lot of unanswered questions. We have 3 people that have disappeared under suspicious circumstances from a residence.
Do you have any memory of anything like this happening?
Nothing recent. Nothing recent.
So was the truck spotted both in front of the house and in the alley as well?
It was on the road,
Just on the front?
just on the road,
But several times.
several times during the course of the evening.
I'm assuming you've shared this information with the family before you came out with us. How are they reacting to this latest update?
Well, of course, the family are still devastated by what has happened, and their focus is finding their family members alive.
Could robbery have been a motive here, or was there any?
We don't have a motive at this point, and that's part of the unanswered question that we have.
So what are you
With-
kind of depending on to move forward right now? Is it the forensics that's going to give you?
The
most-
forensics are going to help us, the public appeal for information, working with the individuals who attended the estate sale, again, encouraging those who couldn't make the availability at the center to contact the Calgary Police Service. We'll make investigators available to meet with them at their convenience. So there's a number of things that we're working on to lead us in the right direction.
Are there items that are unaccounted for in the house now that you?
We still don't know because we don't have a complete list. We've had the family walk through the home, and they've given us an idea what has been sold and what should be there. We have a list from yesterday when we met with the individuals who attended the sale, so that's helped us build the list. But the list is incomplete because we've not met with everyone who's been at the sale.
Are you disappointed in the turnout?
No, we're not. It was short notice. We know people are busy, they're working, there are other commitments, and that's why we're making ourselves available to those who couldn't attend, and hoping that they will contact us, and we'll make our investigators available to meet with them at their convenience.
Are you concerned about the amount of time that's passed right now?
it's still early in the investigation. We're only 5 days in. We have done a lot of work, but there's still a lot of work to be done. We've got a lot of support and a lot of assistance from the public. We have well over 200 tips that we're going through, and that takes time because we have to follow up each tip. And we've dedicated significant resources to follow up on those tips, so we're taking them seriously.
What about other places, other agencies, and even I know people talked about Mexico the other day.
We're getting, first of all, we're getting tips from across the country, which we're following up, and we're working with our partnering agencies in Canada and abroad to assist us with the investigation.
Sir, was there any indication the driver and people in the truck attended the sale? And when you canvassed the neighborhood, was it a truck anyone was familiar with?
No, that hasn't come up, and so that would be one of the aspects that we'd like to explore, whether they were in fact at the sale. We don't know. That's another unanswered question.
Did the
Was the
cameras
truck-
catch, I'm sorry, did the cameras catch someone getting in and out of the car?
No, it did not. It catches them driving in the neighborhood.
And can you confirm again, I'm sorry, that the blood, was blood also found outside?
All I can confirm is that the forensic crime scenes unit examined marks that were on the outside of the house, and we're in the process of assessing the relevance to the investigation.
We still can't call it blood, though, that you found, is that right?
All I can say, there are marks on the outside of the residence.
And there were marks on the garage that almost looked like tag marks, paint marks. Was that, do you know if that was there before?
I don't have information in regards to that.